Miss Clara, a fourth grade catechism teacher, taught her kids one day, "Children, let me tell you today about a quiet man who used to be immersed into much reading and writing. This man was big but gentle, but because he stayed silent, people thought he wasn't very smart. One day, his friends played a trick on him. As he was busy writing, one of them pointed to the window and shouted, 'Look, there is an angel.' He ran to see, but there was nothing there. Everyone laughed. But do you know how he responded?" Miss Clara continued. "He said, 'I would rather believe there was an angel than to think my friends would lie to me.' He didn't fight back nor got angry. He didn't care if people laughed at him or thought he was slow. He only cared about doing what God wanted him to do. And people often teased him, calling him the dumb ox. But his mentor had so much confidence in him that he said, 'This ox will one day roar so loud, and the whole world will hear him.'" Right? That's exactly what happened. Miss Clara's voice softened as she continued. That quiet man was St. Thomas Aquinas, and he is today one of the greatest saints in the church. Friends, if we are being honest, today's gospel, the parable of the sower, usually feels like a divine gardening tutorial that we have sat through a dozen times. We tend to focus on the dirt, on the quality of the dirt. Am I the rocky path or am I the thorns? But today, on the feast of St. Thomas Aquinas, I want us to look not at the mud, but the audacity of the sower. Thomas Aquinas was a man of massive intellect. They called him the dumb ox because he was quiet. But inside that quiet frame was a mind that realized something profound, that God is an extravagant scatterer of truth. He believed that the seeds of God's wisdom are everywhere, even in places where we think nothing can grow. Think about the sower's technique. From a modern efficiency standpoint, this guy is a disaster. He's throwing expensive seeds on a paved road in the middle of a bramble patch. Any venture capitalist would pull his funding in a heartbeat. But this is the new perspective of the kingdom. God is not a precision sniper. He's a reckless romantic. He wastes his love on people who aren't ready for it yet. He pours his grace into hearts he knows might reject him by Tuesday. And there is a beautiful story about the poet and philosopher Dante, who was deeply influenced by Aquinas. He said that once, while lost in thoughts in a busy marketplace, he found a book he had been seeking for long. He sat on the bench on a street and read it for hours, completely oblivious to a rowdy festival happening right behind him. The seed of that book fell into the soil of his mind, and nothing, not the noise, not the thorns of the crowd, could distract him. Today, let us stop judging the quality of our dirt. Instead, let's marvel at the sower's persistence. He is still out there, throwing handfuls of light into the dark corners of our life. He isn't waiting for us to be perfect soil before he starts planting. He plants in the middle of our mess, our doubt, and our distracted Wednesday afternoons. May we have the holy inefficiency of the sower, to love without counting the cost, and to listen for the rustle of the harvest in the most unlikely places.